Hey guys, it is way too nice outside to do this video inside, so finally some deck devotionals from the deck. I just wanted to share a quick thought with you that the Lord's been fleshing out in my heart over the past few days regarding the consistency of our devotional lives. I know many of you have expressed that it can be difficult to be consistent and accountable in this, and even just to maintain your focus once you finally start, And I get that on a very personal level, especially lately. This quarantine's not gone anything like I thought it would on the spiritual end of things. To be honest, when the lockdown was first announced, I was almost excited. I thought it would be 2 or 3 weeks of just a forced reprieve from the typical everyday, that I'd have some undivided time to realign myself with the Lord and just be refreshed in Him. And that's just not how it went for me. Where I expected my devotional life to flourish, it's actually suffered. And maybe that's where you are too, Maybe that's where you're at. It was unexpected for me in a big way. And so where I typically look back and say, man, I just wasted so much useful time. Praise God, nothing is wasted with the Lord. And so He used that time to show me some things that I really had to understand about myself. One of them is that I had made myself accountable to the wrong things when it came to my devotional life and maintaining that. And I know that now because when they were all stripped away with this lockdown, my devotional life suffered for it. But over the past few days, the Lord's really convicted and encouraged my heart through John 15. In this passage, Jesus is talking to His disciples about how He's the vine and they're the branches, and unless they're connected to Him, they can't bear fruit. And He ends the first section there in verse 5 by saying, "For apart from me, you can do nothing." That's a pretty black and white, straightforward thing. Apart from me, you can do nothing. He's not literally talking about nothing. I mean, you and I both know people that live lives that don't acknowledge the Lord, much less are they surrendered to Jesus, and they can live life perfectly fine. The nothing that He's talking about there is nothing that is truly good or of eternal value. Apart from Him, we can do nothing like that. And so the way the Lord spoke to me regarding my devotional life with that passage is either our hearts truly believe that apart from Him, we can do nothing, or they don't. And our devotional life is probably the greatest indication of the honest answer to that question. And that can hurt depending on what our devotional life looks like. I know that it hurt me to have to acknowledge, right? I don't want to have to acknowledge that my heart on some level is not believing that apart from Him I can do nothing, because I know in my head the answer to that. It's just that my life's not reflecting it right now, right? And so the reality is that if we really believe that apart from Him we can do nothing, we're going to pursue Him. We're going to make it a point to commune with God daily. If we really believe that His Word is life, we're going to be in it every day. If we really believe that better is one day in His courts than 1,000 elsewhere, we're going to spend time in His presence each day. If we really believe that prayer is powerful, we're going to spend time in prayer each day. If we really believe that apart from Him we can do nothing, our devotional life will naturally reflect that. But if that's true, the reverse is also true. That if our devotional lives are struggling and inconsistent, there's a good chance that on some level our heart has stopped believing that apart from Him we can do nothing. Now I know, again, we both know that that's not true, but that's why it's better corrected sooner than later. So if your devotional life is struggling, don't wait. Don't feel shame and condemned, because it doesn't have to be like that. The second you're ready to go back and start spending that time with the Lord, He's standing there with open arms. He desires that more than anything from us. But man, that was a conviction to me, but an encouragement to me too, because it was what I needed to know. It was what I needed to acknowledge to get myself back on track. And the reality is that once the only accountability that we ever need for having a devotional life is a heart that is desperate for Jesus. Once we have that, we will need no external accountability. I can promise you that.